Okay, so I realized that I was doing Claude with PostGIS wrong all the time. Usually I would just copy-paste database schema to Claude, then I ask my question, then I get SQL, then I copy-paste it into QGIS, then I run it and I see error or wrong coverage, and I will iterate a lot. And I think all this happens is because Claude is working blind and doesn't have any feedback loop. So I built an open source skill called GeoSQL, which solves this for any GIS workflows with PostGIS. So this skill does two things. First, Claude can run query directly on PostGIS. It also can render result on a map. To make it work, I use another open source project called Dekart, which allows Claude to go from SQL to map image directly. And that's the main trick. So Claude can see a map, and so when something is wrong, when geometry coverage is wrong, or result is empty, or it's wrong region, it catches it and it iterates until the map is right. And it's not me doing this in QGIS. So let me show you, but first let me show you how the setup looks. I use Claude Code for this on my local. I use both desktop application and I use Claude Code CLI. I usually use just $20 subscription and it's enough for all my daily map needs. So then the first step to set up the skill is just one pip command. It's pip install GeoSQL, and then I install it for all my local agents. Second step is to run Dekart Docker container. So Dekart is the server which allows Claude to query my PostGIS database, see the map image and self-correct itself. Now I set up Dekart CLI, I press init, I configure my PostGIS connector, and I enable a local snapshot. This is needed so Claude can see the map images. I run Claude Code. I use in dangerously skip permissions mode because I prefer drinking coffee instead of clicking yes on the Claude all the time. First, I press /GeoSQL and I invoke this GeoSQL skill, and then I ask Claude to do hotspot analytics on incident data in my PostGIS database. And note that I don't need to provide Claude any schema anymore because schema discovery is already a workflow inside the GeoSQL skill. So it's already started working. It's found a Dekart CLI. It's discovered PostGIS connector. The PostGIS connection is already configured in the Dekart. This is a magic moment, right? Because Claude iterated multiple times with the map and realized a problem with H3 hashes. And it fixes itself. Yes, map is almost ready. And I can drink coffee while it's making it. And this is another kind of magic moment here, because when after doing analysis, it's showing me that which streets are affected. But at this point of time, Claude did not query any streets data. So it's see it from the map itself, and it can drive insight from the map directly, right? Not just from the numbers, from raw queries. I look at this map and realize that this is not exactly the hotspot analytics I need. What I actually need, I need to find locations where high severity incidents are happening closer to each other, comparing to what you expect by random chance, right? So it's statistically significant hotspots of high severity incidents. So let me ask Claude to do a follow-up on this map. It's correctly concluded that it needs to do a G-star analytics, and this is already a much better map. It already shows a statistically significant hotspot, but I don't want just having a hexagons. I actually want to have a streets highlighted. So let me follow up with Claude on this. It's found the streets. And it's created a beautiful map. It's also interesting how in the process, when it created a first version of map, it understood that the map is not very well readable and it adjusted its styles. and then finally get you a much better map view. So I think this map is ready and I can send it to my customer now. In 10 minutes or so, I did multi-step hotspot analytics with Claude. I found insights from this analytics and I have an interactive map which supports it. And I can send this map to my customer. And I can also review a final SQL behind this map. So GeoSQL in Dekart create agentic loop for Claude to work on GeoSpatial, and it can move you much further forward comparing to blind agents. Both open source on GitHub. I will share a link in the description. What do you think? Do you want me to publish more videos about my Claude GIS workflow? Do you like this format? So let me know in comments and see you soon.